up with my hands. I did use the massage gun, so that has already helped me a little bit loosen up things. But I still have to feel it all with my hands and my fingers and really make sure we don't miss anything that can restrict blood flow for the hind end. Because the hind end's super important with her right now. There's a good girl. Press in here. She dropped her leg a little bit. And there's a little bit of fasciculation in her back. Little ouchy stuff going on, but not too bad. She's pretty happy. Good girl. Oh, such a good girl. I'm going to do her psoas and her iliopsoas. In previous videos, I've talked about how important those muscles are. Those muscles are super deep. I can reach them from here. I'm not actually touching them, but I'm releasing them by pressing on this area. And those muscles are part of the sacroiliac region of the body, and that holds the spine and the pelvis together. So, as well as that deep gluteal muscle. So I really want to make sure those are loose and soft and supple. And sometimes we have some tension in there. Yes? Do we have some tension in there, Coco? Good girl. So that was the psoas right there, and then we go in and a little deeper and up. And that's iliopsoas. So there's a little bit more tension in there. A lot of horses will have a little bit more tension there. But she's not like, oh my gosh, I'm really worried or anything like that. Just a little bit. Let me warm up that area, get her happy again. And now we're going to start the real work of working on those stifle muscles. So I'm going to grab my gua sha tool. Hiya. And I'm also going to grab my knobble. And that gives me a little extra deeper pressure so that I don't have to use as much hand and muscle and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes I get tired, you know? So work smarter, not harder. Hi. Oh, it's a good girl. A lot of times when I'm working on these glute muscles, I'll see some action in here, some movement, some releases throughout the back. So I'm definitely looking for that. We have our superficial, we have our medial, and then we have our deep gluteal muscle. So this left stifle usually has some issues there because of how quickly she grew. And just releasing this area. It's way softer than last week. This I could not do last week at all. So that is super good to feel the difference. And then now we use that gua sha tool just to really, oh, there we go. See how I press that? Oh, she's like, get that off me. Get that off me. I'm going to use this to kind of break up the fascia that can sometimes be holding muscles in a stuck position. See how she's sort of falling a little bit? That's just because I'm working on those muscles and really getting her to loosen up, because her issue is the stifles can get really locked and then she can't move as well. So we want to release these muscles. She's happy as can be. Go down here. Good girl. We also have, so we have that superficial, medial, and gluteal, deep gluteal, and then we have the biceps femoris, and then we have the tensor fasciae latae, okay, and then we have our quad muscles and that stifle. So those are so important to just get them to have freedom of movement and relaxation. Oh, getting stuck, but then releasing very quickly, which is awesome. And look at how happy she is. She's like, just do this all day, lady. Gosh. Good girl. So good. So now I'm going to go down this semimembranosus muscle, which is the hamstring muscle. And that's the one that aligns her tail all the way down. And then we go into the inner thigh muscles, which is the big bulge is the gracilis muscle. And see, she's feeling that. She's like, oh, that's something. We also have the flat muscle that comes around here. And that's the sartorius muscle right in here. She has more of an issue with her gracilis though, not so much the sartorius. And then we have the deep flexor muscle. And that muscle goes down to the deep flexor tendon that goes all the way down her leg. So releasing those areas and creating blood flow instead of restricting it, like we can do when we have tight muscles, really helps. Like the hoof and the legs and the tendons and all of that just helps them so much. Can move better. Oh yeah, definitely working on that gracilis, that bulge. Feeling some crunchy stuff in there. And she's feeling it too, but do you see how she's moving back and forth and breathing? That was a really nice sigh, Coco. That was very good. She's very relaxed. So again, this is way better than last week. That was the first time she actually tried to move, and she even let me go a little deeper in that inner thigh area. Whoa, you are doing amazing, Coco. What is up? What is up with you today? Good girl. Good girl. And while I'm working on the inner thigh area, I'm pressing and mushing these kind of muscles and manipulating them, getting that blood flow to continue. What a such a good girl, aren't you? You're so good. And less crunchy than last time. So that means that there's more blood flow to that area. Not so bad. There's a little bit of inflammation there, but there's no heat, so I'm happy about that. Sometimes we have inflammation in the muscles because there's something going on, right? And a lot of times we'll feel heat in that area. So, got heat, that's good. Good. What are you doing? Yeah? Good girl. I'm going to work on these muscles a little deeper. And then we'll be done for the day. Good girl. Yeah? Can we say hi? So we have that semimembranosus here, and then we have the semitendinosus. And again, all those muscles work together to hold and stabilize the knee in place. So if those muscles are tight, we're going to have a little bit more issues with locking stifles, and we don't want that anymore. So I'll do my best to release these issues. Did you see that? As soon as I pressed on that tensor fasciae latae, she was like, oh, and that's that stabilizing muscle for the stifle. So that's a little uncomfortable, but she's being really good about it. She's just telling me like, oh, it's not my favorite. No, it's not, but I understand. I feel you, girly. I feel ya. There. Good girl. And another little thing that I like to do is take this tail and I'll stretch it this way. So do you see how much she's stretching and strengthening this area? Good girl. And again, she's not fighting me, so that's super good. She's very happy that I'm working on her. Girl. And then I'm gonna take her tail up, make sure it's nice and flexible. That's it. Good girl. Good girl. You're gonna be so much better. As a wrap-up, this is Mel Hitchcock with Mel's Equestrian Services. I love to help you and your horse succeed through equine massage, professional body clipping, and dressage training. You can find me on my website at melsequestrianservices.com, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Mel's Equestrian Services. I hope you take a look and have a wonderful day.